Hello and welcome everyone to this week's COT review. I'm Thomas from COTbase.com, and today we're going to have a look at the 13th Commitments of Traders Report of 2013. As usual, we're going to start off with the changes in commercials positions. As you can see, we've got Fed funds, soybean meal, and corn on top. We've got a 29% change both in commercials and large speculators positions in Fed funds. Change size can be seen over here. Basically, large speculators have moved back to net short territories, and where basically on this 1 year time frame, that's where they stayed the longest. By opening a 3-year chart, just because the price chart of Fed funds is a bit tricky on the 5 years chart, it's not so visible. At least it's difficult to see the extremes. You can see that over here in 2012 we had a significant extreme when commercials were touching almost 100,000 contracts net long levels. That was a buy signal, as you can see. We are moving now. This week we've been moving in that direction. So we are roughly at 43,000 contracts net long in case of commercials. So we have a buy signal from the change size, and of course we can say that let's say if we open a 5-year chart, I'm just going to show you this extreme. Commercials have been net short more than 300,000 contracts, and now they're net long roughly 45,000 contracts net long. So you can see that that can be considered a close to extreme level, which is a bullish signal. Soybean meal, our next market, 24% change in commercials positions, and an even larger, check it out, 47% change in small speculators positions. That's a pretty large change size. Although, if you look at this 1 year chart, you can see pretty dynamic movements in small speculators chart. So this time, if we look at the change signals, you can see these are mainly bullish signals this week. Let's have a look at the 5-year chart and see how extreme this market is. You can see that basically on this 5-year chart, a large buy signal would be somewhere over here for commercials at let's say 40,000 contracts net long. Large speculator is roughly, I don't know, 40,000 contracts net short. Basically the opposite, of course, because small speculators are almost at the zero line. So we are headed towards these levels. We're not there yet, so of course this down leg can continue easily, and it's basically pretty visible that we had some quite large sell signals and relative ones in the past that are pushing prices lower. So we may witness a nice buy signal somewhere between 0 and 50,000 contracts net long in case of commercials, of course. Moving on to corn, a 22% change over there in commercials positions, a larger 28% change in large speculators positions. All this happening after a pretty steep decline in prices. You can see these were quite large declines. Opening, let's open the 5-year chart and see whether we've got an extreme in this market. And let's see what extreme we had last week that might have affected prices. Well, we couldn't really talk about a significant extreme, since we would be talking about it if the commercials were roughly net long 120,000 contracts net long, or if they were close to 400,000 contracts net short. Now you can see we're basically in between these two levels, so we may as well just talk about a relative one. If we look at only a, let's say, 1 year time period, then we may see something. So it's basically the change size that's affecting or may affect prices, if at all. Moving on to large speculator COT extreme. Here we go. Palladium on top again. We had palladium on top for quite some time, and then for a few weeks it moved away from these extreme levels. But now again, palladium is at its all-time levels, at least for large speculators and commercial participants, which is interesting after having witnessed this pretty steep decline. So it's a very interesting market. Here you go. You have this extreme, very wide. Stress levels are huge. So we may easily see the continuation of this decline in the upcoming weeks. Another metal market, copper, 214 report extreme over there. We've talked about copper last week. It's interesting because it's showing a opposite picture. As you can see, commercials even on this 1 year scale are pretty long, but a 5-year chart may tell us a bit more information. Here you go. You can see that whenever commercials were at such levels, that usually coincide with a bottom in prices, or not necessarily these high levels. Even levels of such can put a stop into the decline. So we are getting a very bullish signal from copper this week, and that's if we compare it to palladium, is a very opposite picture. Life cattle, our next market, 198 report extreme over there in large speculators. All this happening at a very significant support level. Opening a 5-year chart, we're going to look at this extreme. Yes, on this 5-year chart, you can see both commercials and large speculators, especially large speculators, at very high extreme levels. And as you can see in the past, whenever we were witnessing such levels, that coincided with a bottom in price. So again, it's very similar to copper. We are getting a bullish signal. Small speculators, again, don't forget, are not the same kind of participants as in other markets. Here in livestock, they're usually commercial participants who are not reaching such great volumes, trading volumes, that will put them in commercials category. So that's why we can see this really strong correlation between commercials and small speculators. That was our last market. I was just going to check if we're going to go any longer, but we're running out of time. So anybody who would like to look at other COT charts can do so at our COT charts page. If you're interested in a more in-depth and detailed analysis, then check out our subscription service at cotbase.com. We can add other really important and useful functions to your table: long-term trend, volume and open interest scores, COT index. Of course, look at new COT report types, CIT, TIF, disaggregated, or other data types maybe. So I hope you enjoyed my review this week, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.